Alright guys, week 2 at this deck build. Now for this job we are using NewTech, which is a composite timber. Tons of brands out now, but this one is NewTech. The client picked it because of the colour that not many other brands offer. This is at a house that we did a lot of work at earlier on in the year, and now we're back to put the deck in. So just here you can see me and Louis snapping some lines, trying to get it straight across the house. The brickwork was pretty ordinary, so we were really trying to find the best straight line that we could run everything else off. Then we were checking that our breaker boards were parallel off the outside frame of the deck. And here we're doing a 3-4-5, which is a Pythagoras theorem to check that the deck board across the house and the breaker board is square. Now, if this isn't square, it can make the rest of the deck quite painful to lay. All your joints down that breaker board don't look square, so it's really important to get your breaker boards square off the house. And as you can see, these go in pretty quick. We don't even cut these at all. These are 5.4 meter lengths. And all we do is put the breaker boards either side of the 5.4 meter lengths. Now we were chatting with the architect and he liked the idea of having the breaker boards finish on a post, which is what we've done. You can see behind the door there, these two breaker boards, they line up with posts, so it has a nice bit of symmetry to it. Nice little detail. Now you can see Lily in her coat, and yeah, this is the shape of the old deck. As you can see, there's some odd shaped stairs there, and we really wanted to get rid of that, so we get into that a little later on in the day, or possibly the next day. But yeah, one of the next things we really wanted to sort out was the deck that Louis is standing on. It was done about 6 years ago. They've used treated pine H4 for the joists. The reason we don't use H4 treated pine sleepers for framing is that when you buy it, it's full of moisture, and when all that moisture leaves the timber, it ends up shrinking quite a lot. So now there's a step from the travertine down to this decking of about 10 mil, which looks really average. So I don't think we quoted for it, but yeah, the whole frame has to go.
Did I get that on camera?
I think so.
Yeah, this is pretty standard for Louis.
Straight through it.
Let's see what he's done.
That's straight through. That's straight through it. Fuck.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you go through it.
Yeah, Louis up to his old tricks again.
Yeah, look, no one's broke more pipes than Louis. The man has a talent.
Did not miss that.
Can't fault him though, you know, it's generally because he's working hard. So here we are, we're excavating a lot of the soil and sand out of this space because we want to put some deck framing back in there, so we don't want, the bottom of the framing basically sitting in sandy soil. With this composite, it advises you to keep 300 millimeters from the underside of the deck to your subfloor. So we've excavated down, allowing enough airflow to get in there, and you know, any moisture that does go in there, it'll dry out naturally. Now here we are on the other side of the deck, just filling in. This is on the northern side of the property. Once again, we've got the breaker boards running into the post, and all these deck boards go in pretty quick. Must say, I'm pretty over putting in these screws. Most of this job Louis been cutting, and I've been the one installing the deck. We change it up all the time, but I don't know, this job, this is just sort of what's been going on. So yeah, we've got this funny shaped deck here. It was like a step, and it was a massive waste of space. So we were thinking of running the deck frame along parallel off the coping of the pool. That's going to give you a lot more space up on the deck. It's going to take a little bit of space away from your pool area, but realistically, you use the deck every day. You probably only use the pool for half the year. So yeah, I think it's a good compromise. Removing these old bearers and joists. We're going to keep the bearers, but after looking at them, they were a little bit too far gone. They were super damp, so we decided to rip it all out and start again. So putting back some 190 by 45 treated pine. Using the existing piers. Even kept some of the timber in there just to frame up off. It's not hurting anyone being in there. We got rid of everything else though. Once we got our bearers set, it was time to get some joists in. So we were just playing around with the levels of the bearers, making sure that they were decent. And yeah, once they're in, yeah, we can start to throw some joists in. Now for the joists, we're using 90 by 45 millimeter treated pine. This stuff will span up to about 1.5 meters. So here we've got it roughly framed up. There's still more blocking out to do in the morning. Now we're just slapping the deck boards in, overhanging them, lining them up on under the screening. And we're overhanging them by the pool. Then we're going to get the track saw, flick a line, cut them off nice and neat. More G-tape, more decking. Got most of this in for Father's Day. Check back next week to see the progress.